Hello, hello. We are back for some more Lonetrail. Let's see how far we can get today, because we didn't get very far last time. Starting with a tutorial stage, which may or may not have story. And that's why I didn't start it, because it may have story. It didn't have story. Of course it didn't.
All right. I'll show them what I can do.
We're in the lab monitoring enemy communications. It's Doberman. What happened to the ground? It was level just a moment ago, but now there's an unnatural slope. Whatever, the enemy's right in front of us. Advance!
Freeze!
The enemies are having a hard time moving? The lab's defense systems can tilt the entire floor. It's like standing on a giant seesaw. The floor is tilted down right now, causing us to be pulled down by gravity. To move up, the enemy must... Oh.
Freeze!
Meanwhile, our operators deployed in the direction of gravity, downwards, can increase attack speed. Make use of the high ground to stop our foes. That's why I'm here.
Not one step backward. You'll pay for that.
The floor's spinning. Now the enemies are speeding up. What's going on? Analysis complete. An enemy with weight 3 or higher stepped on an up altitude switch, causing the floor to rotate and tilting it up. Enemies move slower upslope, but faster downslope. The effect of our side has also been reversed. Operators with block 1 or higher can also step on a switch, so literally anybody. So it's like a seesaw falling towards the side that's stepped on. Step on the switch and delay the attack before more enemies arrive. Leave it to Yato.
Freeze!
That's a lot of enemies.
Not one step backward.
The enemy's going to step on the switch again. Don't worry, when a switch is currently being stood on, the opposite switch is disabled. So as long as Yato is here, this won't be pressed. As long as we keep the switch on the bottom pressed, we can prevent the enemy from triggering the other. We just need to ensure Operator Yato's safety. Bring it on. If you're ever unsure which way it is tilting, this rock will slide along the inclination, showing the current direction of gravity.
Freeze! Stay calm.
Good spot here.
I'll show them what I can do. Freeze!
Cool. New reward, new area. This case investigation system. Start investigation. can't do anywhere else. Oh, that's what it is.
Ascalon forced me to take this bodyguard gig. Take
29.
your job off the ground, Doctor. You'll be seeing a lot more of me for a while.
Ooh. Well, let's grab specters. CW3. Now we're back to story. Hey, X-Wanderer. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hurry! All the headlines will be the Vice President's visit to Rhine tomorrow. The Editor-in-Chief will have our heads if we don't get a good photo. Wait, I can't find my press pass. What? You can't go in without it. Go find a good spot. I'll look for it. So many people. I couldn't even get to the cafe downstairs for breakfast. A public visit by the Vice President, broadcasted live. Every newspaper is here. It's a wonder they didn't completely block the roads. If I don't have a holiday today, I would be in class. Fair enough. I was wondering why you were here. Good to see you anyway. You see it, Rosemontis? What? First the factory, then Rhinelab. Trimads likes to block up a place when something happens. Hey Rintaro, welcome. Yeah, I've had a VTuber for a bit now. Glad to see you. It's been a bit. But yeah, this is Aya. She was my mascot, but now she's my VTuber. So. I'm glad to have her. Rhinelab is different from the factory, isn't it? They blocked off some of the key roads leading in. Probably out of security concerns for the Vice President's convoy. Which causes other streets to fill up. Did they think people wouldn't see if they blocked it off? That's dumb. Doctor, what are you looking at? Will it rain today? Sunny all day long. The hotel TV had the weather report on when we were leaving. Guess you didn't see it. Anyway, it's not the rainy season yet. I knew it. I knew it, Wanderer. I knew there was more than one person. But yeah, it's not Amia. Her name is Aya. Another sunny day. The urban planning of Trimonts is intricate. The gaps between the staggered skyscrapers allowing sunlight to pass through, for the sun to paint each street with a warm light evenly in these early days of winter. That's why I changed my profile picture. You look up to see a dark cloud in the distance, floating nonchalantly in the sky. The wind is blowing towards the cloud, and it looks to be moving away from the city. But it never disappears. Yeah, I had a feeling. That's why I changed it to something with very recognizable ears that are not Amiya's. You also see the busy streets, parked cars, a flash of light up in the distance, and a well-disguised passerby. You keep a poker face while urging the two girls on. Did you find something, Doctor? Let's go. Mulesies is waiting. Don't worry, Doctor. We'll protect you. Don't forget today's mission. I know. You said it a dozen times before you left. I promise to listen to you, and I keep my promises. I think we're there. Moo. Doctor, we meet again. Hey. As usual, I'm the one waiting. I'm a minute early. Ah, well, I got here before you. I got myself ready as soon as your message came in. This is your company, after all. Well, this is what you asked for. Plans for the Rhine Lab building, and visitor passes for you and your young assistants. Moo Kya. I called in a few favors to get you clearance for most of the building and data. Today, only. There are lots of hidden spaces in the building, both above and below ground. My tip is to have someone focus on the underground. And what about you? I have to accompany Mr. Vice President on his Rhine tour, of course. Kirsten's not here, and we're missing a few section heads. Can't have anyone else calling out. I'll give you a big personal thank you when we're all done. Ah, of course it's a clone. It's always clones. When will it not be? That is the real question. I read your resignation letter, Baber. I'm sorry, Dr. Yara. I want the real thing? Same. I discovered something yesterday. Go on. Energy's wing has 38 ceiling lamps and 21 vents. The carpet beneath your feet looks the same at first glance, but a closer look reveals that there's actually 3 versions, subtly different in patterns and fringes. I didn't know you were planning to go into interior design. You would have done the same if all the projects you were involved in are up in the air, and the only work you have to do each day is to reread the report that you wrote the day before. I understand. It's hard work, keeping your guys calm while pretending that everything is business as usual. I could live with hard work, Director. The labs have always been relatively independent of one another, and research is modular. Everybody goes about their own business, even if something happens to Site 359, even if Ferdinand quits. At the lower levels, people don't know much and believe this is no different from any number of research accidents that have happened before, the kind that every tech company deals with every now and then. But I know this one is different. Control has virtually vanished without a trace, and Ferdinand suddenly resigned. Every day is like sitting on a fire. There's no formal change of leadership and energy, no one to tell me what happened or what I should do. Now the Vice President is touring Rhine. It makes my stomach seize up when I walk into the lab and see the excitement in everybody's eyes. So you talked to Volvort Kochinshi's headhunter Sonia, right? Yes. I'm not reprimanding you. Your position at Rhine Lab allows you to see more than the average employee. Not the full picture. It's normal to feel anxious. The responsibility falls on me. I asked you to keep things calm in the energy section, but neglected your own emotional needs. It's not your fault, just weakness on my part. Why do you think the Vice President is making this sudden visit? I don't know, but he'll find out that we're... The press conference that he held a few days ago has to do with us. Really? That's all I can tell you for now. How about this? Take 1 month off. Paid leave. Maybe it'll be enough for you to clear your head and return to your post. If you still insist on resigning after that, I won't stop you. Rhine Lab grew from a single lab to 10 sections, running more than 100 large-scale projects simultaneously. It has seen bigger storms. It has survived them all. Just give it a little thought. Sorry for the trouble, Sonia. The staff need a way to vent in times like this. Should be the last one. If he's okay, the energy section is okay for now. Yeah, catch you for lunch or dinner one of these days. Give Tin Man my thanks. Come in. How many does that make this week? Not your problem. Just don't send them to business if you're resigning them, or reassigning them. I don't need flighty idiots like that. They're cornerstones of this company, Justin, just as you are. And I may be old, but I'm not senile enough to assign a PhD in energy mechanics to be one of your salesmen. The Vice President is almost here. I doubt you have the time to fool around in my office. Just giving you a heads up. I'm seeing a few new investors today, and I have a number of important remote meetings to attend. Since the Vice President is here to inspect research, I'll excuse myself. Now the phones in business stopped ringing the day the Vice President announced his visit to Rhine. I had to get someone to add 2 dedicated hotlines. It's a clear signal, the world of Tri-Mountain finance. No, not just Tri-Mounts, not just finance. Every Colombian who even had as a passing interest in investing has their eyes on us. That guy has a lot of stock options, doesn't he? I say you just accept his resignation. Then hire him back at a lower salary when the company's stock soars and he begs for it. Rhine Lab is not a stock market toy, Justin. Now that is hurtful. Mayor Benjamin, Councilman Chris, Deputy Phil, Commander Colette, even the Chief Justice. That's just a few of the people I'm talking to today. Could Kirsten have kept playing her hide-and-seek game with Blake if I hadn't continued to sweet-talk all these friends? You utilized a lot of resources. Just doing my job. And one correction. I'm not a cornerstone of Rhine Lab. A cornerstone exists for other people to build upon. I don't have the same loyalty to Kirsten as you do. I choose her and Rhine. I helped her because I wanted to take control of my own fate, of everyone's fates. This isn't a game. Bird. News from Maylander? Yes, sir. They have personnel deployed around the area to ensure your safety. Good. How much further? 2 more blocks until Rhinelab headquarters. Canceling today's tour is always an option, sir, if you're concerned. If the Foundation can't be trusted, then canceling the tour won't be enough to protect me. I can't very well skip class to see the mining platforms chase the sun because I am scared of exams, like I did when I was young. Not when I'm the vice president of the Columbia Union. You should get some rest while you can, sir. I doubt there will be many more chances today. Do you remember how I described Tri-Mounts at yesterday's banquet? The future of Columbia. You said you love this youthful city, just as you love this youthful nation. As a matter of fact, I don't like this place at all. There are no burden beasts, no clouds of dust kicked up by their hooves, no duels for some dumb reason, no pioneering spirit. Only white-collared workers and their coffee. High-rise buildings that split the sky and sniff air. So clean it makes your stomach squirm. I believe the Tri-Mountain circulation system employs... Don't, Pavard. I'll be hearing far too many explanations like that over the next few hours. You don't like dealing with scientists? I won't go that far. They're simple. They can go on and on about their products. Blueprints or ideals, sometimes outlandish, sometimes crazy, mostly incomprehensible. All I need to do is smile, nod, shake their hands when they're done, giving them a few words of encouragement. Much simpler than dealing with the old folks at the special district. You represent the state. The people like to see Columbia support science. It's good for your image and your odds in the next election. The vice presidential election, Columbia's biggest political event. But I'm thinking that perhaps I shouldn't spend too much time and effort on it. You've achieved a lot in the past several years. The polls indicate you employ a high-level support. The representatives who support you also been in contact with that influential Volpo director of Linerab. It's not easy to gain the support of big tech. You have a head start. No, I meant in comparison with Mark Max, the president ever guiding Columbia to her promised future. All that national attention surrounding the vice presidential elections just adds to the embarrassment. Let me go get some water. This is drying my throat very fast. And I want to try and get as much progress as possible. What do you mean my avatar? Oh, yeah. It'll do that. Don't worry. I got some water. I also had a talk with someone as well. I had to talk to someone because I need to both go to the dentist. I also need to go to a doctor's appointment. It's making some weird faces. That'll happen. Look, there's not very many people who will see it and laugh at it. I don't get very many views. It's fine. I'm not worried. Besides, I wasn't really worried in the first place. I just know it happens. Moving on. What is this screen showing? The cargo passageway behind Rhine Lab. A little to the left. Zoom in. Good. Now there shouldn't be any dead zones. Soldier is nervous as he operates the equipment. The colonel has been standing behind him for some time now, his brow furrowed. You'll get famous one day? Eh. The 5 blocks around Rhine Lab's headquarters have all been placed under surveillance. Something big would need to happen for me to get famous. And in my 8 to 9 years of streaming, it hasn't happened. So I'm not going to put my hopes up. But I appreciate the thought. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's just whatever. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. If people want to watch me, sure. If people don't want to watch me, it happens. I try to put my name out there. I know a lot of friends who won't watch because it's just not their kind of game, and that's fine. I'm also a variety streamer, so that's going to be even harder to get by because I'm not dedicated to one game. It's fine. I'll make do. Many figures are moving on the screens. Key areas have been blocked off, but there continues to be a considerable crowd nearby. Of course, the crowd also provides good cover for their operations. The soldier scans each monitor, not daring to even blink. What's the situation on the ground? All undercover and support units are in position. Good. Where's Ferdinand? He's on the phone. The phone? Yes, should I summon him? Never mind, no need to tell him. And what about the colleagues in the defense section that he talked about? We've taken over. Good. A shadow flashes across the display on the bottom left before appearing on the other screens. It is the Columbia displayed on the top of a car. Several black vehicles maintain equal separation with it, both in front and behind, with machine-like discipline. Begin. The Vice President's convoy is in sight. Begin. Have a nice tour, Jackson. Mr. Vice President, there have been reports that Triton factory explosion in District 13 was linked to Rhinelab. Is your visit to Rhinelab at this time intended to dispel such speculation? Excuse me. District 13 is still under lockdown. Did you authorize the Army's actions? And how long will the lockdown remain in effect? Will you be meeting with Control Right? Excuse me, Mr. Vice President, about your schedule to in Trimonts. Patience, please. There will be a press conference after the Vice President has concluded his tour. We have set aside a space to accommodate members of the press. Please, follow me and refrain from disturbing the staff members in their work. There's no one else? Damn! Shut him up. Look at that. Hiding weapons and recording equipment. Search him and make sure he doesn't have anything else on him. There's a discrepancy in the documents. Find a way to check the credentials of all the reporters in the press area. Be discreet. I got this one. No commotion. Lost contact with A1, A2, A3. Have all our locations been compromised? HQ, I need immediate instruction on whether to continue operation. Yeah. That's the 9th one. If you're used to dealing with terrorists, you know a thing or two about planning a terror attack. Report. All potential vantage points within sniping range of Rhinelab has been secured. We have neutralized 9 snipers and 11 disguised assassins. Continue to monitor the area around Rhinelab. Roads, vehicles, pedestrians, leave no stone unturned. Roger. The Vice President has entered the Rhine building. It will be difficult for us to deploy directly inside the building. Do you intend to be on scene personally? No. I got a message from a colleague. There's somewhere else that I need to be. Share intel with Doctor of Rhodes Island. Follow any orders issued by him. Acknowledged. Damn, Tin Man. Let's go. Okay. Oh. This one makes 7. Are you okay, Rosmontes? I think she's fine. Just mass-produced power armor, Doctor. Don't worry, it won't take too much effort. The serial numbers match the ones that the defense section lost, but 5 are still unaccounted for. Should we keep looking? We need to eliminate them before they leave the secret passage, right? They'll cause chaos if they get out, even if they can't get to the Vice President. Good work, Roswantes. How did you think of using the access permissions granted by Mulesies to check the defense section's equipment log? Nah, she's fine, don't worry about her. Yeah, I know. She can handle herself. Just going down the list of possible options, I didn't expect to strike gold on the first try. I didn't think the assassins would throw acid at the Vice President disguised as researchers. Gold on the first try. Something feels off. These mechs seem cautious in their movements. Doesn't seem so much an assassination attempt as... Movement Doctor. Power armor? Didn't sound like it. Who would be in a circular passage at this hour? Hold it, Rosemontes. Saria! Doctor, Rosemontes, what are you doing here? Well, we were allowed to be here. I see. Sorry, I've been maintaining radio silence because I had infiltrated Rhine to retrieve data for Calcit. As for Calcit's whereabouts, I have no idea either. The remaining power armor. I destroyed 5 before running into you and the Doctor. That makes a total of 12, which matches the number that the defense section lost. And so, I went to find someone. I'm guessing the feeling of being dragged out of a suit of power armor is not something you want to experience again, Reggie. What orders did Ferdinand give you? He only wanted to borrow a few suits of power armor. Ferdinand can't be trusted. What about you? How do I trust someone who's repeatedly ignored the rules that she set, showing up at Rhine whenever she wants, who abandoned all her responsibilities? Took over defense when he left. He paid our wages for the past few years. He remembers our names, our hobbies, even gives us gifts every once in a while. Ferdinand may have been an asshole, but I have to say, Director Saria, that asshole paid our bills. The Vice President is still inside Rhine. You know the consequences if something happens. You must check everything that Ferdinand may have touched. Just the 10 suits of power armor. You have my word. I was about to say, 10? There's 12. I destroyed 7. Sorry, I destroyed 5. That's impossible. Ferdinand only borrowed 10. I watched him enter the commands myself. What kind of man is Ferdinand, Saria? Proud, arrogant, thinks himself better than everyone else. But if there's one thing that sets him above other people, it's that he actually puts his boasts into action. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think those 10 mechs are for assassinating the Vice President. What? Ferdinand doesn't want the Vice President assassinated. Math is mathing? Yep. Hey! Made it to the first stage of today. Ah. Water. So we're currently going up, and we want them to go down. Right? Yeah, but if we put anything on down, they're just going to... I guess we do this temporarily.
No way out for you. Simple and clear.
Ah, I see.
I'm listening.
leave you there for now.
装填完了。いつでも行けるよ。僕の出番かな。
悪くない位置取りです。この程度の数で。
But
Simple and clear.
what? I thought if as long as I had someone on the button.
セイロン様と違って私は情けはかけません。
Oh yeah, that's rude.
格好の的です。
Got a problem that needs solving?
格好の的です。
The bolt guy is heavier, but that didn't matter for Yato.
Speed to succeed.
Don't keep me waiting. I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
見えていますよ。
Yato didn't care about that in the tutorial.
I got my mirages to lead them off. We'll go this way.
Like, literally, the tutorial taught me that this guy, Yato, held the button down even if the big guy hit the other button.
Things are different. I don't want to hide myself any longer.
So the answer is I'm screwed. I just have to leave it as is and just deal with the consequences.
装填完了。いつでも行けるよ。
Wait, hold on. What is your trait and talent?
This is the position, right?
セイロン様と違って私は情けはかけません。セイロン様と違って私は情けはかけません。
So that's our target? Standing by.
I'm listening. I'm aware of what I'm doing.
格好の的です。
Moving to designated location.
視界良好。
見えていますよ。
I see them. I'll be right back. Need speed to succeed.
Your death is in my eyes. Don't better watch your step. Simple and clear. Better safe than sorry.
Mission accomplished.
Yep, I can't mess with the mechanic. I'm fucked. So I have to just do whatever I can. Feel like I'm a kid in a classroom having a science lesson for the first time. It's no hyper bully at all to say that science is the future of Columbia. I regret not being able to stay longer and hear about your other projects. You were always welcome at Rhine Lab, Mr. Jackson. Thank you, Director Yara. I hope my visit didn't cause too much inconvenience. Kind of you to say so. It was a pleasure to be your tour guide today. Having the famous Marion Blake as a tour guide alone makes this trip to Tri-Mounts worthwhile. Between the two of us, I'm a pretty big fan of yours. I have an autographed poster of your debut film on the office wall. Really? A present for my wife when I was elected. Kindly make a note to follow up with the special district government about Rhine Lab's application for a new research facility. Will do, sir. I guess that will be it for today, Miss Yara. I wish you a pleasant stay at Tri-Mounts. Thank you. May the sun shine on the next day, as it has today. Come on, mash that photo button. Mr. Vice President, what did you think about your trip to Rhine today? Ask your questions in order, please. We have 10 minutes. There's no rush. Sounds like a rush to me. You heard me, right? I'm clapping. Vice President visits bolsters Rhine Lab's claim as industry leader. The headlines write themselves. The tour concluded without incident. The Vice President will leave Rhine Lab in 10 minutes. Doctor. Do you remember this background? Because I remember it vividly. I can even tell you what chapter it's from. Let's see if you can get it right. I've already given you a hint. I want to see what you guess. If you're still there, that is. I assume you are. I'll continue reading while you think up the answer. I got the map you sent, Doctor. So there's a secret passage that leads right to the underground structure, but it's not in the plans that Mulesies gave you? Leave it to me. I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs while you and Rosemontes have fun with the power armor up there. Didn't even see a shadow. Saria's coming for me? Then I have to go to the underground structure too. The Vice President is leaving in a few minutes, right? We can't take any risks. Ifrit, moving out, Doctor. You got this, Ifrit. I'm back. How are things up there? Not sure. I didn't quite make it up to the surface, but there was no commotion. I'm guessing the attack failed. What about us? We activated the jammers and aren't supporting any other units. I don't think anyone is coming here. Ferdinand's route was very well concealed. Let's carry out the plan. It's almost time. The explosives? Set up while you were scouting. 2 tubes of advanced plastic explosives, enough to breach the containment structure. You know, I thought Ferdinand wanted to come back to Rhinelab, but this is the liquefied iridium pipeline used by his energy section. The Colonel says he's stuck in the same boat as us. He has no choice. Don't really see the point of blowing this up now, though. The Vice President should have left Rhinelab by now. What good will blowing up the iridium pipes in the underground structure do? The Colonel has his plans. All we need to do is follow orders. Who goes there? The kid? Looks like the doctor's intel was good. Hey, you. I don't know why you're hiding here, but I don't think you ought to surrender now. We lost contact with all units? Yes, sir. Sudden comms failure. The Vice President and his retinue, the press, no sign of anything that is amiss. Looks like our guys were neutralized before they could move. Reports indicate that our operations within Rhine are also being disrupted by the sudden appearance of some power armor. We're also losing signal from the cameras on the streets. We're losing control of the scene, sir. So our best laid plans are like a sieve to those intelligent network of the Maylander Foundation. It's not surprising that they're able to respond, given how hastily this assassination plan was hatched. Should we pull out, sir? They're bound to trace the trail back here, sooner or later. No hurry. Mr. Vice President said he would like to have a nice chat with top researchers. I intend to oblige him. Situation at C1 and C2? Still in position. Signal stable. Activate the remote control at the top right of the panel, Riker. Yes, sir. The remote control Blake referred to is a mundane mechanical button, fitted with an old-fashioned safety lock. The soldier enters the password and the cover pops open, revealing the red button. What is this, sir? Remote control for the explosives that will blow up the containment around the liquefied iridium pipes. Come on, Ifrit. Look at the screen. According to the routes that Ferdinand provided, the energy section has several liquefied iridium pipelines running through the west wing at Rhinelab. Rhinelab Engineering does a thorough job. In addition to standard safety measures, there are also underground containment structures that prevent chain reactions in event of a leak. The original plan was to cause a leak and explosion, creating a chance for the operatives on the ground to approach Jackson. By chance, however, Jackson's convoy will cross over one of these pipelines on the way back. You're Rhinelab staff? I heard the defense section has a lot of bad-tempered people, but I'm surprised they would hire a kid so young. I told you to surrender. I didn't say you could talk. I'll try to short stop of turning you to ashes. The doctor and Saria may want to question you after all. Wait, is that a flamethrower? Stop! There are liquefied originium pipes all around us! So that's what's going on. The flaming red Saver girl makes her decision in a split second. She re-engages the flamethrower safety lock and swings it hard at the one on the left. Then she charges toward the one on the right and catches the side of his face with her fist. Yeah, you show him, Ifrit! In the time it takes for her flame to flicker, Ifrit is back on her 2 feet again, dusting off her palms. Yeah, I think my nose is broken. Run, kid. What? What's that sound? Damn, he started the countdown. Less than 1 minute left. Can C1 and C2 make it back? Their contributions will be remembered, as well as all others who give their lives this day. I don't like this guy. But Colonel, it's an entire convoy. 5 cars, a dozen people in the retinue, possibly even Rhine staff members and reporters. Another passerby. You have your orders, Riker. But I'll hit the switch myself. That's my job. Your job is to report as soon as you get a signal from C1 and C2. I won't defend myself if I stand trial for this someday. So I'm not going to waste my time explaining myself to my soldiers now. Yes, sir. We have the signal. The Vice President's convoy is reaching the target area on the west side of Rhinelab. Colonel? He places his hand on the cold mechanical button. A chill runs up his finger, and he pauses for a couple of seconds. The soldier glances at his superior officer, whose brow is furrowed behind his sunglasses. The soldier realizes that his commander is even more anxious than he is. Damn it all to hell! He presses the button. There is no sound, only an explosion on some of the screens. On the tiny screen, the collapsing streets were like foam boards underneath bubbling flame. Then the screen goes black, the camera destroyed by flying debris. There's no sound, but Blake and the soldier could hear the deafening boom in their heads. Hey, Ifrit's okay. The surface should be close, but I can't see the path with all these stone slabs in the way. Hey, are you two okay? Oh no, a chain explosion! Ifrit? Ifrit hears a familiar voice through the echoes of the explosion and the falling rubble. Saria? I'm here! I hear you. Hang in there. I have a lock. Ifrit can hear Saria's voice shaking. Something touches her fingertips in the darkness. Calcium crystals? Saria's Regium arts. Like a stream of water, the crystals fill the gaps in the rubble, then expand, releasing a sickening crack. Saria has forced an opening in the collapsed structure. A hand reaches down from above. Ifrit grabs it and feels it pull her up, while a calcium tunnel shatters behind her. Don't move. I'm fine. Just a little dusty. Your face. Were you crying? I wasn't crying. Just a little anxious, that's all. Alright. Your hands are dusty too, Saria. You're making my face even dirtier. Oh, sorry. And these two? They were the ones who planted the bomb that blew up the liquefied iridium pipelines. So I brought them out. But I couldn't stop the explosion. You did well. You really did. I'm proud of her too, Saria. What is it, Ifrit? Silence? What are you doing here? Silence. Why are you here? Oh boy. Reunion, but will it be a happy one? Mr. Vice President, Pavard, it is safe to go now. The convoy? Just a couple of mechs blown up. No need to worry. Hey! Decoy. This car has been modified by the engineering section. It may not look much, but you can trust it. I hope you brought your driver's license, Mr. Pavard. We'll take a special passage on the east side. We planned a new route for you. The rest of your retinue will return in small groups once the dust has settled. Was the explosion expected? No, we wouldn't have allowed an explosion of this size to occur if we knew about it in advance. But Rhinelab and the Foundation's work isn't done until you're back safely at your residence. The enemy has more than one plan, and we have more than one contingency. Very good. I just want to see another Triton in the headlines tomorrow. I don't want to see. There's no need to worry. We already have a plan in place for the press. Once again, I wish you a pleasant stay in Trimonts. Thank you.
Take victory as a whetstone to hone the cutting edge.
Oh god, it's another one. New graphic data, new investigation report. We got one more of these, and it's CW5 with a 3-star rating. And I believe CW5 is when we get silence? Yep. Danger rushes in like a tidal wave. It's gonna be a long one. So give me a second while I grab a cough drop. 'Cause I'm gonna need it. Where is it? I can only have one. And we're going to use it for this one. Silence's supporter, though? She is. That's fine. I am more than ready to E2 silence. Silence, finally. Ever since I entered the city, I've been wondering where I could get to when I could get to see you. Silence? Ifrit, come over here. Don't worry, Silence. I'm all good here. Good enough to knock out a row of bad guys while carrying you in one arm, running a raps around them. If you don't believe me, I'll even carry Saria in my other arm just to prove it. Stop speaking for a bit. You'll affect the drone readings. Oh, okay. Silence lowers her head to examine Ifrit, just as she used to do, with the same meticulous and gentle manner as ever. But Ifrit still feels very nervous. She has never been scared of Silence getting angry at her. One of the first things she learned growing up was that Silence's anger stemmed from a concern for her. She knows that after Silence is angry, she helps take care of the things that were doing her harm, and helps her chase off the things that were scaring her. It was not real anger. But Ifrit was scared of this silence. When Silence does not show an ounce of anger, and rather is quieter than usual, she realizes something must have hit Silence's limit. The skies in Trimonts are always gloomy and gray, and the storm clouds are as big as monsters. No wonder you used to always walk into my room with your hair all drenched. Oh, and hot dogs? Do you like them? The doctor bought some for me and Rosemontis, and I want to try one with strawberry flavored syrup next time. Silence. I decided to come here myself. I bothered Kaltz about it for a long time, and also wrote the doctor a super long letter. I completed all my courses and trainings in the last few years. I can do a whole lot of missions, just like you and Saria. Blood Originium crystal density has slightly increased. What are the estimated rates of increase for that and for cell fusion assimilation? For now, they're within controllable ranges. We won't know the rest of the results until Ifrit returns to the landship for comprehensive examination. You want me to return to the landship? You guys still don't trust me? No, Ifrit. I trust you. But there shouldn't be a need for any buts here with Saria around. 4 years ago, it was in this very city, and on the very same signboard. I almost lost you forever. Back then she was at your side too. No different than right now. But I lived, and I've been living good. Saria protected me, so this time I can protect you and everyone with her. Ifrit, listen to Silence. She's your doctor, and you should trust her the most. But I trust you too. I trust the doctor, and Rosemontis too. There's no difference in the amount of trust I have in you guys. Saria, I saw you the other day. You were with that mysterious man in a trench coat at the factory in District 13, and on the very same day, something fell from the sky. So you were there too. Just another Ryan-related secret experiment, right? Of course you won't answer, because this is you trying to protect me and Ifrit. Just 10 minutes ago, Ifrit stopped an assassination attempt on the Vice President. What? I'm not trying to conceal information from you, Silence. But what I have on hand is also very limited. There are simply too many different factions involved in this, and all I can do is try my best to prevent the situation from deteriorating even further. Come on, Silence. We must put this back on the right track. I've heard that line from Director Saria too many times. You're always in control of the situation back at Rhine Lab, but those horrifying experiences kept popping up one after another. There will always be someone hurt by the ambitions of another. And these wounds won't simply be healed by criminal charges and trials, not to mention a trial that should never have happened in the first place. I can't help but wonder, when you people finally extinguish this fire, just how many will be left lying in the ruins, breathing their last breaths just like Ifrit was. You perceive the situation more thoroughly and clearly than I can. But you still choose out of habit to help them control. You hope to minimize any damage and preferably shrink it until it becomes unnoticeable, rather than put a stop to the immorality at its source. I can't deny that. Sorry, I've been waiting years to ask you a question. Your inability to make a genuine stand against Rhine, is it because deep in your bones you've always been the same as them? The same as Control? Sniper! Silence, get down! Ifrit! What? Saria? White calcium crystals float before her eyes. They had briefly protected her and Ifrit just moments ago, but now they disintegrate silently as the caster falls. No, not Saria. Confirm hit on the target. Great. This high-powered energy weapon is capable of blasting a hole open through an armored vehicle, and yet it wasn't able to penetrate her arts. This damn Wolverine, her arts are tough as shit. Harder than power armor. You mean to say there's a possibility she might survive? Possibility? I'm so fed up with that word. All those researchers tossing it around. What I want is results. Definitive results. Then what happened with the vice president? They won't give us a second chance. The op team is still on standby. Should we order them to withdraw? No need. Give them something else to do. Just like how we dealt with that eyesore of a Wolverine. Don't let anyone cause chaos and Ryan get off scot-free. It's time for these idiots who think they can do whatever they want with just a few companies under their belts to wake up. No one can challenge the Colombian army's authority on Colombian soil and get away with it. Move! Blake, I didn't give you Ryan's contacts for you to drag it into the gutter. Which is why you've used your channels within Ryan. The guilty are often the first to complain, Ferdinand. Are you aware of our current situation? Someone disrupted the intel, and the detonator went off too early. And now, reporters have already spun the story that this has nothing to do with Jackson at all. What did you say? I said the assassination failed. Are you satisfied? Come on, Ferdinand. Put away whatever weapon you're hiding. Do you really think you can leave a scratch on me? Relax. I don't blame you. He pats Ferdinand's cheek twice. Ferdinand expected Blake's eyes to be filled with the murderous intent, but to his surprise, all he sees is a smile. Carrying out an assassination within Rhine gives our Current intel would have been extremely difficult, even without your meddling. And even now that company is all that's on your mind, loyalty to your own desires isn't necessarily a bad thing, though. I'm serious, Ferdinand. It's an admirable trait. You're fit to be a soldier. Now that we've failed. What of it? This is just the beginning. It's a good thing that they had us pinned down. Do you know just how many of my superiors have been waiting ages to strike out against them? Before the situation spirals out of control, our losses will only win me more support. And if things really spiral, trust me, you don't want to know how things will end for me. Of course, I can't guarantee how they'll end for you either. I'll stick to our agreement to help you find Kirsten. We can still turn the tables once we have her in our grasp. That goes for the both of us. And Ryan too. I'll go meet with Yara. Sure, by all means. Let's see if it's luck or fate that will catch up to us first. Squad A, search that side. Squad B, conduct your search over here. Our targets are a hooded figure with no weapon, and a feline girl able to use highly lethal arts. Oh, they're talking about us. Bring it! Rosamontes will kick your ass! Doctor, my terminal lit up. That means it's time for me and Ifrit to meet up, but I can't sense her presence. She probably found Zarya. Brian should be safe for now. This place isn't safe at all. There are too many laboratories here. They all have the same white walls, just like a maze. Ifrit hates this kind of place the most. Whenever she talks about those memories, her breath comes shorter and her hands get cooler than usual. I want to go find her. I don't want to see my friend get hurt. Aww. Those walls aren't so tough. Just give me the order and I get you out of here easily. We can't expose ourselves yet. Thank you very much for choosing not to smash up our walls. We imported the material from Casimir's. They're very expensive. There's no need to be so nervous, little girl. As you can clearly see, I'm only a businessman. Nothing but a fountain pen and a wallet in my pocket. Yeah, but I don't trust you. Fancy you. Didn't expect to see you here, Director Fitzroy. Sure enough, my next meeting just happens to be around the corner, so I figured I would greet our guests on the way over. Areas C and D have been searched. There's a ton of conference rooms in front. Prepare to check them one by one. Enemies in the quarters, and a lot of them too. Give me the order, Doctor. We have company. Wait. A hero working behind the scenes to prevent a terrible conspiracy, but soon to become a target of clandestine arrest. In Columbia, these sorts of stories are common enough, and such a script wouldn't fetch a good price in Rankwood. At the end of the day, is it a party being obstructed by the establishment and wanting to punish them for it? Or other party dispatching a commission to let this yet-to-be-exposed deal sink into the abyss? What do you think? They all have reasons to investigate us. You included. Surely you showed up here at this moment for more than a greeting. Oops. Would you look at the time? They're waiting for me to start our meeting. I hope I haven't disrupted your plans too much by stalling you a bit. Doctor, please stand back. I'm going to begin attacking. Dr. Fitzroy? My friends call me Justin Jr. Justin Jr. The military seeing us together won't be good for you. What if I told them that the young and beautiful feline lady by your side has something to do with a top-secret military experiment that should rightly be covered in dust and long unused? Is that a reminder from a friend? The choice lies with you. Do remind me just how many of our excellent employees have you already poached from Rhinelab? Was it 8? 10? Yara has been thinking about getting acquainted with whoever runs your HR. Since Rhodes Island and Rhinelab has been cooperating so closely, the next time we meet, I might even have a contract for you and with an offer you can't refuse. Rhodes Island thanks you for your interest. Alright, I won't bother you and Miss Feline here any longer. By the way, Doctor, after you get back, please do ask Mulesies a question for me. When she goes out to eat, what's her preferred cuisine? Only one conference room left. The target is most likely inside. Prepare to breach. It's empty? Did you hear a sound just... the sound of water? Ah, how wonderful it is. It's a lively energy, strong enough to fight even fate itself. Saria! She's not responding. No way. Her head suffered a serious impact, and though her vital signs are there, she's in critical condition. She needs emergency treatment. Help me lift her arms. Ugh, it's so heavy. Don't even think about hurting Saria again. Silence. I can burn a way out for us, and we can go and try and meet up with the doctor. No, the people watching us are definitely also after Rhodes Island. Yes, the military is already inside Rhine, and your friends might not be able to protect themselves. I know who she is, don't put the question marks. Director Yara? Come with me, kids. I can't just sit by and watch the other founder of Rhinelab fall here. Mr. Vice President, Congress called back. It's regarding the bill to dismantle those military bases. They're ready to move the hearing up. In addition, the justice who reached out to us earlier has hinted that she's willing to cooperate with us to overturn the previous ruling. The military is going to pay for the recklessness. We have an optimistic estimate that Colonel Blake will be out of Trimonts within the next 12 hours. Everything is waiting for your decision, sir. The call should be coming in, Pavard. Yes, this is the temporary office. Yes, he's right next to me. Yes. Vice President, it's headed over. I know who's looking for me. I'm skipping names because I want to lower the amount of word count that I'm reading. Besides, their names are fucking long, or I don't actually need to say them, or they're difficult to say. Alright. I understand. I feel the same. I'm not about to let everyone down at this critical juncture. Vice President, about the bill. Shelve it. There's no need to put this matter on the agenda for the next 6 months. Is that in order from the Foundation? There's an example. How many casualties were there in the mess from your report? We eliminated 30 military operatives. And how much money do we spend on training these soldiers? 3 million to train a combat-ready man to DoD standards, sir. So he basically just lost 90 million cash and 30 talent. That's right. So there's no need to ask whose orders it is. It's a decision that's in the best interests of Columbia. Go get me a meeting with Blake. It's time for us and the DoD to work together. Understood. That's a terrible idea. I'll always remember the day the election results came in, when I thought smugly to myself that I could finally sit back behind the desk of my dreams, and I received the biggest shock of my life. Back then I almost thought my country was caught up in a huge conspiracy. But I've come to realize that's not what's happening. Columbia isn't wrapped up in any conspiracy, and Maylander isn't the shadow government I thought it was. It's just silly things happening in an orderly way. That's what makes it seem like we've been making real progress. But I'm just a regular guy. Even now and then, every now and then, something crazy pops into my head. If I really was caught in that explosion, then would I be remembered as a martyr for Columbia, or just tossed in the dustbin of history as some incompetent politician? What do you think? He looks around the empty office, as if waiting for the omnipresent heir to answer his question. Then the man standing so close to the apex of Columbian power sighs. The military won't be bothering you any longer, so why the long face? Well, Hayek, you're a difficult woman to reach. Ah, God, this woman. Sorry about that. My boss, who I've not seen in a long time, has popped on over to Trimonts. I needed some time to compile my reports. I'm afraid the Tin Man has forgot to send me any copies. And that's why I've come to answer your question personally. As long as it's something I know, I'm happy to tell all. Also, people seem weird about like the designs of Enfield characters. Exhibit A. She looks the same as those designs. This design reminds me so much of Enfield designs. Exactly. AV is one of them. Actually, AV is the main one. Yeah, arrows. Why not X's? You got X's here, you got circles here, you got fucking whatever this is. There's also the Zahi, I think her name is, which the designs on her like skirt thing remind me of this sleeve. Just instead of a sleeve, it's like down on the skirt area or a dress or something. X is pretty common in some button design. Hey, you don't know what's popular 500 years from now. Maybe arrows are pretty common in button designs 500 years from now. You don't know. But yeah, it's just she reminds me so much of the designs. Yeah, sure. Moving on. I still don't like the character. Alright, you're the primary representative for the Foundation's desk, so tell me. Where exactly is the main instigator in all this malarkey? Where is Kristen Wright right now? She's in a place that's not even the finest of Columbia's commandos are able to reach. A place never documented by the Foundation. There's nowhere in Colombia like that. It's not on any map of the country, at least for now. Even though the location might overlap with our territory, it is truly out of our line of sight. So you mean... President, you are no doubt familiar with Project Exploration, an archaeological undertaking spanning multiple years led by the Association, or rather, our Tin Man. Those ancient ruins buried under the vast wasteland. Exactly. Coincidentally, we also came across the information during a recent raid operation on related personnel. Exploration records? These records are currently in the hands of a former executive of Rhinelab, a close friend of Wright's, as well as an offshore company with an existing criminal record in Colombia. And it's the most coincidental thing that this company called Rhodes Island has a working relationship with my dear leader, the Tin Man. Imagine HD hyperglyph implement raid in ZZZ would be... Imagine hyperglyph implement raid in ZZZ would be could not gonna lie. I think you mean something else, unless you really mean... Yeah, I was about to say, ZZZ is not even out yet, first of all, and second of all, that's a roguelike action game for MiHoYo. So what game do you actually mean? Water purification and circulation system. You could also call it a sewage drain. Azure Lane? A raid in Azure Lane? I don't play Azure Lane, but maybe? I don't know much about it. I didn't even know the game had raids. Obviously it's... Oh. Yes, raids in Enfield would be cool. I don't know how they would do it, but maybe like every person takes one character, maybe two, and if they actually do like a raid system, and they could have it like 4 players or 8 players. Obviously, 8. Either way, it would be either 1 or 2 characters. I would say the max be like 8 characters on the field. But it's an interesting idea. I don't know how they would implement it though, because that's a lot of. At that point, it would be more like an MMO. The AI system would protect like north, and you can deploy some stuff to protect. The AI system would protect like north. Raid in your bait. Oh. So like, okay. Would be interesting. They would have to implement things like walls and turrets and traps. And at that point, we'd get into Clash of Clans stuff. It would no longer be satisfactory. It would just be Clash of Clans. Though, I wouldn't mind, like, some big base building stuff. Though, they have already done a lot of the base building stuff already. On that note, I gotta go to the restroom, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. As a note, I was checking for new videos, and I saw one and commented on it that why would you put both gameplay demos of Enfield in the exact same video? One is 1.5 years old. You could have just made a comparison video at that point. They literally just fused the two animated trailers and the two gameplay demos all into one video. I don't even think the first gameplay trailer, not the gameplay trailer, but the PV from 1.5 years ago, they even finished in there. They didn't even put the full thing in there. It's like, what was the point? What was the point of this video? You just put everything into one? With the tiny edit to show you did something? At least put the effort in. Do something. Moving on. We used to have another name, Locus of Sorcery, once the most primitive weapons of witchcraft from the TKs. So that's his actual full name. To think that it was installed on the Pioneer Team's nomadic temporary housing. Though it's certain that the device's core has already been long been lost. All that is left are the outermost pipes, and you people had a reasonable idea how to recycle it. I'll take that as a compliment on behalf of the Colombians, madame. This country has gone through hard times. During the Great Expansion, when supplies were scarce, every object was classified into only one of two qualities, useful or useless. This may be a medium of some magnificent memories in your eyes, but to the ordinary people living in Colombia, they are useful pipes that will not be rusting anytime soon. After all, no matter how old an object is, or how great an era it has seen, those unable to be comprehended by people of the current era will be no different from scrap. Our own levels of understanding are but restricted by our own time and space. You and I are not exempt either. And the same goes for Kirsten. She couldn't have drawn her power from a TKAS-like legacy, and whatever outside force she has borrowed power from is much more powerful than that. There are still 32 technologies waiting to be ruled out. Most of these are not on the Association's exploration records. I presume you won't be needing my company for whatever is coming next. Sure enough, but this will not affect our partnership with them. Yes, this has always been your way of going about things. You're hoping that Kirsten will not get hold of that technology, but you also hope that Colombia won't be able to prematurely pocket that fortune for themselves. Still the same as always, selfless and neutral. I have one more thing to ask of you. We can discuss that first, madame. Doctor, and those two girls. As you said, there are some roads that only I can take. I'd like to trouble you to take care of them when it's inconvenient for me to do so. Oh, I've misjudged you. You have changed after all, madame. You're more humane than you once were. No one or thing is forever unchangeable, Revenant. Mr. Tin Man. All we can do is accept these changes. Hey, Doctor, you good? I should rein in the water and not let it enter the respiratory tract. Or could it be that my skills have gotten rusty after not using them for so long? The doctor probably bumped that hood on something and passed out. So sorry. It's all 'cause that Justin. He suddenly dumped a stack of papers on me. Said all the directors had to fill them out or we wouldn't get our funding for next year. I was close. I almost didn't make it. Didn't make it to what? Oh, you're awake, Doctor. Moo Moo! I knew that she saved us as soon as I heard water. Good morning, good morning. I remember being in a ventilation duct. Yep, I was manipulating my water around when I knew you were in trouble. The two of you were about to be discovered when I found you, so I wrapped you up in water and brought you here. Thanks, Moo Moo. I was in a hurry, so excuse the bumpy ride, Kay? I can't repay the kindness you've shown me. Water, Moo Moo, Moo Moo, water? Yep. It's not that great a deal. But you know, if you insist on returning the favor, just sign this employment contract I got here. I wouldn't mind having an assistant with brains as big as yours. You know I can't do that, Moo Moo. Doctor, I know you just woke up, but I gotta tell you some bad news. It seems like Saria got attacked at the same time you were. She okay? I'm not sure about the specifics, but that's Saria, you know? Harder than diamonds. She wouldn't be in any serious danger, right? The big question is what you do next. You must have gotten the feeling that once the military gives you a warning, they don't give up so easily. So your situation here is... Actually, Rhodes Island's situation is far from hunky-dory. Oh my god. I haven't heard hunky-dory in forever. Oh yeah, where's Rose Montes? She here too? Ah, okay, good. Rose Montes? Outside. Ads. I'll stop for a bit, but I'll go get some water. I'll go get some water as you deal with ads. But as soon as I get back to reading. And I am back. I needed water anyway. Alright, back to it. If you're still dealing with ads, can't help you there. The corridor. Someone is walking towards us. Huh? But I was so cautious on the way here. The army couldn't possibly have tailed us so easily. That easily. Or could it be the Maylander guys, like Mr. Tin Can and his pets? Secret agents like to pop up like this, don't they? Rosamontes, is it the Tin Man? I don't know. I don't feel anything special. The feeling I'm getting is, very normal. Mumu, can you take a look around the area? You want me to send a few eyes out there? You got it. Finally. Sorry, am I late? I wanted to see you as soon as you got to Tri-Mounts. Unfortunately, my work took longer than expected. Wait, I remember that mug from the dogs. You're Loken Williams? Oh, Ken? Yes, it is I. You must have received my letter, Narcissia. Who is Narcissia? My name's Rosamontes. It's my only name. You, no matter. What's important is that you've come. To tell you the truth, I've been a bit nervous ever since I sent you the letter. Rosamontes' true name. However, this may be her true name, but this is the correct name. To see that you're willing to meet me makes me a very happy man. I wouldn't like that guy either, he seems sus. I, however, am glad that it's over. We can go on to CW4 now. One with combat. Eventually. I want to at least try and make it past CW5 today. So I'm going to do my best for that. Because we've been live 2 hours already, and we have made not that much progress, to be honest. But that's just because I guess I read slow. I'm also reading out loud, taking short breaks, drinking water in between sentences, talking to chat. Yes, I'm drinking water. No, Wander, I know what you're thinking. Stop it. What do you mean that's why? If I didn't drink water, I would have stopped already. If I was not drinking water, I would have already stopped because my throat would have been dried out. And it's really hard to speak when your throat's dry. So the water is helping a bit. I mean, drinking water is drinking water. Alright. You wrote the letter? You wanted me to come here? Yes, my child. I even wanted to go looking for you myself. But time is short, so I had no choice but to have a friend deliver that letter to Rhodes Island. Yes, Rhodes Island, that's what it was. And after the disaster, I heard that that organization took you in. Have they been treating you well? They are my family. Calcit, Amia, Doctor, Blaze, Radian, and everyone in the squad. They're all my family. Aww. So you mean you've found a new family? The frail man coughs violently, and his naturally crooked body seems to droop even lower. He stares at Rosmontes, as if wanting to move to her, but a thin wall of water stops him in his tracks. Moo knows who he is, and so do you. This is the very same man that cropped up many times in Rosmontes' files. The criminal that should have been well behind bars has suddenly appeared before you, acting as a grandparent rushing to visit his grandchild after work. Pat the Cato. If you want the head pat emote, you're gonna have to sub. Sorry, but that's just how it is. Can't help you there. I can pet the Cato. I have the ability to pat Aya. I can pat Aya as much as I want. She may not be a cat, but she's close enough. Besides, it's a head pat emote. It is universal. So I have now pat Rosmontes, because I can. You came here alone to find Rosmontes? This is what I wanted. Nothing to do with anyone else. Let me get a good look at you. You've grown up, girl. Over the past 4 years. No, it should have been 5 soon enough. I've thought of you so many times while you've been apart. Whenever I think about the time we were separated from each other, I just feel so sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you from them. Those mediocre hacks with their superficial goals. They destroyed the future we could have had together. A future? Were we supposed to live together? But I don't remember you. Should I have remembered this? I record everything I don't want to forget in my terminal. Then it's not important. You've forgotten who I am. Have you lost all your memories and forgotten the wrongs I've done? Yes. Are you a bad man? Did you do something bad to me? Yes. It's not for me to answer, my child. It would make this meaningless. Your memory loss should not have been an effect of the experiments. Could there have been another party? Maylander, perhaps Rhine? Don't aim those eyes my way, Mr. Williams. I'm just the teensy-weensy director of Ecological. Besides, even if the old goat was here, his precarious code of ethics wouldn't be any worse than yours, right? This has nothing to do with ethics. Rhodes Island, did you wipe the girl's memories and manipulate her emotions? It's not something Rhodes Island would do. Yes, you couldn't have done that. It was my work after all. I was so meticulous that no one would have possibly stripped away such an important part of her when her vitals were functioning normally. Ah, I see now. It was me after all. Perhaps I didn't make enough observations. Yes, we didn't have the luxury of time. The pressure of consciousness is honestly beyond anything a layman would comprehend. Or could it be that you passed your memories onto your sibling? Excuse me? I don't know how to answer to you. I don't remember if her file said anything about a sibling. Then again, I haven't read them or read them in a long time. There must be a way. Let me think. Any fragment of that incident is beyond meaningless. Same as the records and data. They all belong in the garbage dump. But emotions, shapes, scents, oh yes, smells, that's it. She has a brother? Alright. A floral scent? Smells like crushed juice smeared on the walls and on my hands. No. Stop thinking about it. I don't want this. Yes, I knew it. I'm still somewhere in your memories. Please, child, bring out those memories. Remember your hatred for me. Let your anger fill your body, your mind, your omnipresent spirit. Stop. You're hurting her. That's what I said. No, her pain comes from the past, not the present. I only want to give her the gift she's been longing for. This is not a gift. Do you actually understand her pain? Everything you know about her and her experiences is secondhand information from Maylander. Don't you think she has a right to be angry, to hold resentment? I want to beat that guy. Oh, I know. Both you and Maylander are walking the same path. You want her easy control, because you're afraid of her. Afraid of a weapon of rained anger weapon. Everything you experience with Rosamontes and Chernobog comes flooding back before your eyes. The fight's desperate, with determination to live alongside the pain of farewells. Yes, you've heard the term used many a time in the past to describe the feline girl by your side. She felt it was harsh before, but this time it's unbearable. Because it came out of Loken Williams' mouth, the root cause that led Rosamontes here in the first place. You have many ideas on how to refute his claims. It also occurs to you that if Keltset were here, she would be capable of coming up with an even more extensive response. But another thought comes to mind before your words. Yes! I'm gonna punch him. I see you're outraged by my words. That's fine. You're not willing to think of her as a weapon. But just look at her. She's standing in front of you, even wielding a sword for you. Skill 3. Doctor, please get behind me. My sword might be about to pierce through the building's outer wall. Rosamontes, you... Enemies. There are enemies closing in quickly. I will protect you, Doctor. My mind still feels like it's messed up. But Dr. Keltset and Anya told me my mental state is a lot more stable now. They allowed me to protect you. And this is one thing I can definitely do. I know. Doctor of Rhodes Island. If you truly care for her, then you should know what she really needs. Not you. Just ask yourself this. What are you trying to protect? A soldier that would die for you, or a child with a traumatic past? A child with a traumatic past. She's not trying to die for me. She's trying to protect me. The question is not difficult to answer, but it's obvious that Loken is not interested in your reply. Yep. But the moment he stepped into the room, he's been staring directly at the white feline girl next to you, his turbid gaze full of enthusiasm, sorrow, and a certain kind of anticipation. Jesus. They're here. Such a pity that this is the end of our meeting. Nah, I want to punch you again. You're not ready yet, my child, but I know you will be. Back off. I'll be waiting for you at Home. Hell no. Hold it. You actually caught up. No, you were waiting for me. Which one of you is your true self? The silent one in the room earlier, or the one right here? How about neither? That's not important. Your Originium arts are quite interesting. Or perhaps... no, forget it. I don't have time for this curiosity. Nah, he's dead? Yeah, he's so dead. Do you have business with me, Director of Rhine Lab? Where's Kirsten? Ah, but you're the Rhine one here. Are you sure you should be asking me that? The only way you could have gotten out of prison is with her help. Your being here means the work she entrusted to you is already complete. She's done preparing, right? She's really planning to. Pitiful girl. Hey. I'm not about to let a rotten geezer who looks like he hasn't showered in 3 days call me pitiful. You tell him. Astonished, unwilling, and anxious. You're afraid, little girl. You're afraid of being betrayed by those you trust, and of being abandoned by others. Well, the worst is your confusion. You're at such a complete loss that you have no choice but to ask an outsider like me. Such a familiar feeling it is. Guy's already dying. When my teacher handed all of my research to Maylander, when he expelled me from the academy, when my students submitted all my data to the military before I did, and I had to speed up my experiments, leading to the ultimate failure. When my family sold everything we had in DC and disappeared, I saw that very same look in the mirror. My eye bags can't be that bad. I just don't get it. Why would she trust that wretched woman from Maylander and you over Saria? Or, ugh. Are you stalling for time here? If you're waiting for Holhayek to pick you up, I won't necessarily lose, you know. You don't want me for an enemy, girl. Huh? Do you really think you could stop Kirsten and I just by catching up to me? Or maybe you want to catch me to catch Kirsten? She falls into a daze. He turns his back, and yet she still doesn't act. Only when the familiar wind caresses her face so mockingly does she realize that Loken is no longer anywhere to be seen on the streets. Damn it! I let him go. What am I doing? It's okay, Moo. Moo? Oh, doctor. I'm right here. Heard everything you said crystal clear. Yes, sirree. No, you didn't. Is your clone in danger? Elias Ball, hey, welcome. Is your clone in danger? Clone? My, yes, my clone outside. If one thing Loken good at is running like a coward. Not wrong. Doctor, you guessed right. There couldn't have let such a terminally ill old man come here by himself. Before his assistants got him away, I only managed to get one thing. He is definitely involved in Kirsten's plans. The home Loken spoke of. The puzzle pieces are overlapping, and they're pointing right at Wright's hideout. Doctor, your terminal. There's a new message. Maylander has some new information. What a coinky-dink. I was just wondering when we were going to see the Tin Man again. Oh my god. I use that word sometimes still. I can't believe I still use it, but... I like Moo. You got roughed up by the army because of him, so it's only right that he should make it up to you, isn't it? Osmanthus, are you ready to proceed with the mission? Yeah, I'm fine. Moo? Huh? Thanks for standing with us. Our cooperation is far from over, so you're gonna have to wear out those words if you keep standing on ceremony, you know? She was blushing too. Doctor, do you really trust me so much? What did you say? Nothing. Alright, let's get moving. So she whispered that. Silence. Is the temperature okay? Not too hot? You're controlling it very well. Saria's body temperature has stabilized, and she should be out of danger. Ifrit, you should rest a bit. Using Iridium arts for a long time will wear you out. No, I'm staying with Saria. I still remember back in the White Room. She kept me company while I was stuck in that bed. I was always in pain. My mind was totally messed up, and I couldn't stop myself from burning everything I saw. I don't even have a clear picture of every visit. I just know that every time I opened my eyes, she would be there at my bedside, and I felt so relieved. So now I want to stay here and keep her company, even though she won't open her eyes. I'm sure she can feel that I'm here. I'm sure she can. She just needs a bit more sleep. Something still feels off. What's wrong? I just realized Saria isn't that much taller than I am. And also, her palms are soft, with such pretty nails too, just like your hands, Silence. Yes. Saria is, of course, an ordinary human. I'm afraid she's quite far from ordinary. Yara. She prefers to solve problems by herself, without a word. She always keeps a straight face that deters people from voicing their opinions. Would you like to make a guess just how many employees from defense I had to offer psychological counseling year after year? Are you unhappy with Saria? Unhappy? Huh. One year I asked Kirsten if she was set on transferring a researcher to make the head of the defense section. Guess what the woman there did when she found out? She threw 36 listening devices onto my desk, right in my face, shattered them to pieces with her newly developed arts. An unfortunate thing, as a couple of them were operating on behalf of some of our dear government departments. They were just a little wary of such a rapidly progressing tech company. I was happy to share some controllable information with them, to get them to ease up a little. I spent some time dealing with the trouble that came with the incident, but who could deny the determination and skill of that young Vovre? I guess Saria has always been like that. Sure enough, many years have come and gone, and if you compare her then and now, it doesn't seem like there's much development. She's the most resolute and determined woman I know. Whoever said she wasn't? I've watched she and Kirsten walk their paths, and I'm well aware just how decisive and strong she is. But even such an outstanding individual can't stand against the whole damned country. If you let her take on these obstacles she hasn't overcome in all this time, she'll only be smashed to bits. Here. Car keys. Take Saria and Ifrit and leave before it's too late. Saria wouldn't want that. No, she wouldn't. But I'm not talking to Saria right now. Aren't you the type to go, innocents' lives shouldn't be put at risk? This girl shouldn't be involved, and neither should you. No one needs to die here. I need a bit more time. Yara? I'm afraid we're all out of time. Take the secret passageway out now. What's wrong? An old friend has come knocking. How are we still in this stage story? Oh. I know this is not as long as the last one, because the last one wasn't a stage story, it was just story. But god, this one feels pretty long. Have to go, got work tomorrow. My name in Arknights is Natami, if you want to be friends. I play daily. I apologize, I don't really have the friend space at the moment. I'm currently full up, but it was nice seeing you. I would, like, also, Natami is not enough. I would need the hashtag at the end. I can check to see if there hasn't been anyone who has played for a bit, but I would need the hashtag at the end of Natami to actually do anything. There's always like 3 to 4 numbers at the end. Sometimes 5, I think. There's a reason why Lonetrail is the longest story yet. Yeah, I know. I don't even know your spelling. No, I'm talking to YouTube. I have a YouTube chat open as well. Yeah. This conference room. Whenever we had meetings, Parvis would sit by the window. Mamu likes to sit in the middle, and you sit here, furthest from Kirsten. And you're the same as before. Always standing behind somebody else's seat. If you give me the hashtag at the end of Natami, I can try to find some room for you if you want. But yeah, have a good night. Glad to see you come. You came to the stream. How nostalgic. Would you like something to drink? Red wine, or should we pop open the champagne? Is there an occasion? Of course. Ferdinand Clooney is enjoying a career upgrade and also returned to Rhinelab. Sounds like a cause for celebration. You think I'm here as the Army's guide? No, they have their own plans for Rhine, and I don't approve at all. Because I know that if something happens to the president while he's here, that's the end of the company. Kirsten can ignore the existence of Rhinelab, but not me. The event today went off without a hitch. Don't play dumb with me, Yara. You may not know just what kind of people run the army. They could repeat today's adventure anytime they want. So before those savages rip a dozen years worth of time and effort to shreds, can you just tell me the truth? What exactly is Kirsten doing? Did Colonel not tell you? The very first day Dr. Wright disappeared, I handed every document about Control and her projects right over to them. And for the record, it happened more than once. I worked days of overtime just for this. Dr. Wright, as if you two had the most ordinary collaborative relationship. Should I show Blake the picture hidden in the darkest corner of your office drawer? Or has our dear HR director already come up with an explanation for why she's hidden the New Year's card little Kirsten wrote her 2 decades ago? That's just an old photo. Kids aren't cute and well behaved after they've grown up. Ferdinand, you know that better than me. That sock in the jaw at Site 359 still smarting? She's gone into hiding, like a child clinging to her favorite toy. Except it's not a toy, it's a goddamn superweapon, with some real forbidden secrets behind it. So you should find and drag her out, if you still care about her. Or would you rather watch her die for the vaguest of ideals? Even if I couldn't bear to watch her go that far ahead, how do you suppose that stopping her is within my power? This is Kirsten we're talking about, Ferdinand. She'll take everything you have. Do you think she would ever leave such a major weakness? If you really want to treat the relationship between me and her as a vulnerability, so easily within your grasp? Good. Great. You refuse to cooperate. And what about the others, for example? Saria. You rescued her, and you've hidden her somewhere around here. Got it. I will check and see if I can add you. Once I'm done here. So I hope you have a good night. You're so willing to talk to me, just to buy her more time to escape. Good night. Let's say she manages to escape. Who could she even go to? Rhodes Island, caught up in the same mess? Or that group of Maylander agents who love spinning webs just as much as you do? I have no idea what you're talking about. The military just picked up a new piece of intelligence. Saria, as well as the company behind her, Rhodes Island, are suspected of helping Kirsten steal classified information pertaining to national security. Maybe working at Rhinelab for more than a decade has made you naive enough to assume your old boss was some hero of justice. Ah, here we go. Finally. CW4, Rising Waves.
Things are different.
Ooh.
I don't want to hide myself any longer.
I don't think this... Oh, this is a shift map. I can't do... Another map where it doesn't matter.
This is the position, right?
I could probably put her over there.
Picked out your bait yet?
Yeah, this is fine.
What is it? I obey my own heart.
Air Commandos.
私にこのリズムは今にぴったり。
Oh, I see.
No way out for you.
Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work?
弓の準備はできてるよ。
悪くない位置取りです。
まずは威嚇。
発光の的です。I see them. I'll be right back.
Engaging.
Better safe than sorry.
Finally. Am I up?
僕の出番かな。
Hurry up. Don't keep me waiting.
You saw nothing. Moving to designated location.
私に任せて。弓の準備はできてるよ。
This map is actually much more easier if you have flash redeploy. If the jetpack guy is going down, make it the gravity going up. Oh, I see. That's why they fell.
From shadows.
Gotcha.
In time, I'll find the right place for myself, too.
No, don't you dare.
Guilty will be punished.
Simple and clear.
I'm with you.
What is it? I know what it is I want.
I know what to do. Don't order me around. Death is in my eyes. Don't forget Hydra's fear. Let's show it.
私にノリノリの曲でいくよ。
Simple and clear.
You have to be really quick with that too.
A bad luck. You ran into me.
まずは威嚇射撃からいくよ。
悪くない位置取りです。
I couldn't do it entirely. It was too fast. But I still managed it with my fast team. It's not every day you get a map where it's actually better to have only fast redeploys. A usual stench of the stewards and spots where the light doesn't reach. These alleys are all the same. Urban planners probably can't afford to invent new ways of doing their jobs at the speed those cities pop up out of the barren lands. It's just too bad that you miss out on the local scenery if you use these nooks and crannies too much. Am I right, my good subordinate? Isn't it better to get a view of the city from above? A gust of wind blows through the empty alley. All the unexhaled smoke rings swirl back into the cracks in his metal. The Tin Man wonders if this is an opportune time to hack a few costs, as if choking. A lighter floats right up in front of him as soon as the embers of a cigarette die out. Banal, such a lamentable assessment for a city like this with no history. Hey, Yak. You were supposed to make contact 3 days ago. Oh? I had the impression that you were not particularly punctual yourself. If you could just tone down your volume, why did you pick this place for a meeting? Did you forget? The factory in District 13 is close by. Did you find the item from the other day? Yes, but unfortunately there are only fragments left. Fragments of stars, with no way to guide the lost. And Kirsten? Where is she? Well, are you watching the sky? You get a clear view of the sky without the skyscrapers around. Do you think Kirsten might be hiding in a star up there? If so, then how are we supposed to find her? Hey, Ak, you went into the library 2 months ago. I'm a historian. Isn't it basically my job to visit libraries? We're talking about Maylander's library here. I don't recall authorizing that. You know I can't contain my curiosity. Just like right now. If I could trouble my employer with a question that I've been awfully curious about. What is it? Your smoke. Other than the clouds you puff out, the few wisps that slip into your body, where exactly do they go? Is this why you have the tip of your tail on my chest? I smell my favorite scent on you. History. So, if it's at all possible, I'd love to get a good look at every little piece of your body for my research. Where should I start? Your head, chest, extremities? Hey, Yak. Do you really think betraying the Foundation is the right choice here? Of course not. Maylander holds most of this country's secrets, and in Columbia, secrets can be traded for wealth, or used as murder weapons. I spent 3 whole years before I finally managed to get into the society, and spent another 3 to gain your trust. Do you know what 6 years means to me? Being an agent has already taken 1/7 of my life. 1/7. 6 years, 1/7. 6 times 7. She is not a very long life species. Even if we account for her being like 30 or 40, she's still pretty, not that long lasting. Then you shouldn't be wasting the rest of it behind bars or on the run. Yes, I know. And yet, if my time here isn't enough to embrace what I've been yearning for my whole life, then what difference does it make if I live another 10 or one more minute? The Maylander won't allow anyone, least of all a defected agent, to access information they shouldn't be accessing. A shame you only have me to see in your last moments. Then I can only pray to the stars that the dead won't speak so easily. Fine, let me switch up the question. Do you really think you can kill me? I'll never know until I try. I seriously hate this girl. Huh? Her air manipulation shouldn't be affecting me. No, this isn't a Kulkin ability at all. You know me just so well, don't you? But fortunately, I'm not exactly completely clueless as to what you are. Ordinary arts have no effect on you, but... a curse. The power of the oldest Sarkaz witchcraft. A soul-imprisoning curse. It's been an awfully long time since you had the taste of something like this, That 1 year when a Maylander agent went deep into the bleached wasteland to investigate the ruins of the Sarkaz royal court, suffered an unprecedented life-threatening injury. I didn't expect Maylander to leave those files intact. You can't have thought that I'd venture into top secret database just for Kirsten. I did remind him that documenting everything isn't necessarily a good habit to have all the time. According to you, only the long-lived would have an extensive memory, while the rest of us just want to grab as much knowledge as we can, so naturally come up with different methods. Otherwise, how would we short-lived beings hope to resist the control of people like you? If you really want to destroy this body, you probably need a little more time. I have 2 minutes to spare. So you're not even going to come out of hiding and greet me. Banshee. Weren't you just talking about how unwilling you are to show yourself? Like I said, I have no interest in watching you murder your own boss. But he is more than just that. Oh, old acquaintances, are you? Personally, not at all. But my blood knows him. Fascinating. I've been over it many times and this guy here doesn't smell Sarkaz. Be careful of any tricks he might play. I don't want him to resurrect right after all the trouble I've gone through to kill him. Still don't like her. I won't let him interfere with the next step of the plan. I can't do it. A delicate trap you've laid. I had guessed that Hayek might have planted something in the sky, but I didn't expect a Banshee's curse to be hidden in the noise of the construction site. My blood has taught me the power of words, and the sound of machinery clashing and colliding is the language I hear most. An amazing talent to have fooled even me. There are only a few Banshees, including those in the royal court, who can make me suffer like this. So that's why we were hearing machinery earlier. Were you born in Kazdel, or the Valley of the Banshees? It doesn't matter. My blood is not pure enough, and I haven't experienced any grand events either. Right now, I'm just an engineer living in Columbia doing whatever I want. You found a home in Colombia? What about you? Ah, so many years have passed by in a flash. I've heard that over the past 2 centuries, those two youths, Teresis and Teresa, have finally built Kazdel as a nomadic city. I don't even know myself what Kazdel looks like today. Are the streets still as crowded? The flags hanging out of the city walls, unchanged for a millennium? The undying furnace in the core still hot as ever? Can you relight my cigarette, child? This little spark can't hold the remaining warmth of your soul. I know. I only wanted to stay a little longer to ask you a few more questions. What did you see in Kirsten's dreams? The future. Has she actually promised you a change to the Sarkaz fate? Do you believe she can do what no one has been able to accomplish over the past millennium? No, she only showed me a possibility. A possibility that came from within myself. Alright, engineer girl. If I could just trouble you to ask my darling employer if he has any last words. The fire is almost out. Time moves too fast for an old man like me. The last question is mine. An ancient one like you must have seen the fall of many Kazdels, and surely you must have thought of and searched for a place. Where is the Sarkaz Promised Land? Promised Land. Time's up. A silvery green tail shatters the tin mill sigh with a strong burst of wind. The last spark fizzles out at the same time the cigarette hits the ground. A bone whistle sounds. Drymounts has never heard such a sound. Neither the residents in their deep sleep or the office workers working overtime will be aware of what just happened. Other than those who made an appointment. Did you hear that? Huh? Logos was too busy to come to Trymounts, right? My terminal says Logos has a lot to do. He hasn't trained with me for a long time, so I haven't been using my full strength in my sessions. It's been hard for Blaze and Sharp. Blaze and Sharp always complain that training with me is more tiring than going out on missions. Before we left the land ship, Radiant told me that Logos would come back with Amia soon. I miss Amia too. I miss her so much. Doctor, will we be able to see them after we finish this and return to Rhodes Island? I miss them too. Doctor, did you make it there? Yes, the message says we're meeting in this alley. Ah, fuck. We'll go home soon, I promise. Fuck. The alley is dark and silent, like an abyss. Something rolls out from the murky shadows. Perhaps it's due to its material hardness, but as it rubs against the ground, it eerily resembles a cog out of its wheel, a frightful rattle echoing through the darkness of the night. It rolls straight to the alley entrance where light and darkness meet. It turns out to be a metal head. The upper half is usually obscured by a hat's brim, In the mouth of its lower half often has a cigarette exhaling rings of smoke while spouting words that are at times perspective and other times incongruous. But now there's no cigarette, no hat, no trench coat, or even the part that should be present past the neck. There's only a head. Tin Man is dead. I would take it easy if I were you. After all, if you do make any moves, I can't guarantee that your head won't end up rolling along with my old employers there. You didn't come here just to banter with me. Sure. Two things. It's time for Rhodes Island to end your excursion in Tri-Mounts. And the other, as you've seen, the leader of the Maylander agents, the Tin Man, has been murdered. We need a culprit. And you picked me. Your frailty certainly affects the credibility of the idea. But the mundanity and perfectly enigmatic vibes of Rhodes Island makes you an excellent target for Maylander investigations, even if just for a bit. You want to buy yourself some time. It won't do you any good to look for other secrets, okay? Never hurts to get a better understanding. Or do you want to employ your expert negotiation techniques to list a number of reasons why I can't do anything to you? What a pity that Tri-Mounts is not Toronto and your opponent is not some black-hearted pharma. I've had my eyes on you ever since you stepped into Tri-Mounts. Yay. At first, none of this has anything to do with you, or Rhodes Island at all. Even if you and Saria are moving in the same direction, role-playing as heroic firefighters, why haven't you dispatched a few more men like that good old mechanic to mop things up quick? If you're not going to talk, then why don't I tear your chest open and take a look at all the secrets hiding inside? I hate her. The silvery green library approaches. Her plumage scrapes the fabric of your hood, emanating a soft but piercing sound. At first I thought you were the same as those other eccentric scientists trying to find some sort of revelation about the future in Kirsten's research. Yeah, I know others love her, because people are fucking crazy. After all, we're such a silly species, aren't we? Limited lifespan and unlimited ambition. The moment we realize the limits of what we can accomplish in our short lives, we become willing to surrender our arrogance for just a moment, and beg for a shortcut. But on you, I smell no trace of that desire. What do you dream of? And what of your past? I hate her. And it's because of her that we don't get to fucking leave this place. And Rose Montes has to deal with fucking Logos some more. And then the rest of this fucking event. This event could have been 4 stages and that's it. But she fucked it up. I hate her. The Tin Man's death spiraled everything that's about to happen. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. What do you dream of and what is your past? I'm becoming very interested in you now, Doctor. Ah, great. Lovely. But unfortunately, my colleagues are about to show. Can I go? Hold your friend's head in your hands and enjoy a captivating session with Columbia's top agents. You might find yourself astonished. Oh, great. So I have to stay. Think through some answers to my questions during your interrogation. I hope I don't give you the chance to run. Wait. Why are you here? Did this hood ever... Moo fucking got me. Oh. Did this hood ever come with a guarantee of who would be under it? I love Moo Moo. I love Moo Moo. A water clone. Any more tricks up your sleeve, pathetic elf? Hey, don't call her pathetic. Doesn't matter, Dr. Rhodes Island. We will see each other very soon. Stop being interested in me. Go away. Doctor, there are a lot of people rushing towards that alley. Rhodes Island has been set up. It's a good thing you used your brains and borrowed my clone for that meeting. Otherwise, you would have fallen into that horrible woman's trap for real. She definitely left evidence implicating Rhodes Island. You heard everything she said over the comms, right? Did we make enemies of both Maylander and the military? I'm afraid so. You're not joking, are you? Unfortunately not. If you and the Tin Man had any plans, now would be a good time to share them, you know? Your silence implies... Wait, you can't mean that he... Something really happened to that mega mysterious super agent in the trench coat with a tin can for a head? Unfortunately. Heard a Banshee's bone whistle. Oh, it was a bone whistle? Ah. Wait, Banshee, you say? Of the Sarkaz variety? Was it for Kirsten? Did she... Moo suddenly falls silent. She looks up the sky above Trimonts. There's nothing up there besides thousands of stars. You cannot help but recall her question from earlier. Why did you come to Trimonts? What exactly is the dream that she's chasing? The dream of Enfield. I'm just kidding. Quick, silence over here. Jesus. Someone die? It's alarmed. Did something happen to Yara? Oh wait, someone did die. Silence, are you okay? I'm fine. Saria. I'll help you carry her. I need to go now. Have fun reading, and don't forget to stay hydrated with Moo Moo. someone leaking into the blue box. Well, I mean, she was very close to killing us, but thankfully we were a clone, so we're fine. But yeah, I'm staying hydrated. I'm probably gonna end the stream after this story bit, because I've almost drank 3 bottles of water already, and I think I'm gonna be done after that. But yeah, thank you for coming, and I hope to see you next time. You have a holiday. See you around. Your face is all sweaty. If Saria doesn't wake up now, they're gonna catch us. Don't push the blame onto Saria. But your face, you look like you're about to... I'm fine, Ifrit. I just happened to remember what happened earlier. I watched her fall in front of me, and my very first reaction was not worry or surprise, but regret. Because you were mad at her? Yes. If that really was the last conversation we ever had, I didn't want to think that I was blaming her. Actually, I don't know who else can hear me out. And just patch things up. Huh? And then when Saria wakes up, we can go back together. How about it? Please do. She'll return here the moment she wakes up. That's the sort of woman she is. Fine, I think I get it. Neither of you is gonna go home, are you? That's right. Then why not work together? Work together? Yeah, silence. Even though you got new gear on, you're still a doctor. If you keep on running like this, you're gonna get hurt or even die. I know Saria's a great fighter. Even I've started to know that teamwork's important. Yet she still likes to work alone. If it weren't for us, Saria would be in an even worse situation right now. Neither of you wanted me to tag along, but at the very least you gotta promise me that you'll work with Saria. Otherwise, the two of you will worry about me, and I'll worry about you guys too. Ifrit. Just say yes or no. I'll even behave and go back to the doctor. Just promise me. Some words are easier to say when you're a team, right? Where did you learn all this? The doctor taught me all these people skills. I'll think about it. Great. Silence, what's that over there? A transmitter that just appeared? It's all silvery and flowy, real pretty. Don't touch it. Ifrit, that's very dangerous. Dangerous? No way, more than my flames? It's another product of Ryan's experiments. For real? Then I'll burn it up. No, just wait and see. Don't be too quick to destroy it. A small lump of silvery substance gushes inside the test tube. Ever since it left home, it has lingered without a target direction, as if it has lost its hub directive. As if its only mission is to lead her to Parvis. Parvis never does anything without purpose. His appearance earlier couldn't have been just him wanting to chat with me. He deliberately led me to think he was the goal in this race for the transmitter? Could it be the truth was never... Silence, the door's over here. Nah. How could... Did someone spot us? Stand back, Ifrit. Calcification. Zarya, you're awake. Hooray! But you're... I'm fine. You're not bluffing a doctor that easily. I'm just holding this door until it's safe enough for you to leave. QED, I'm perfectly fine. The military mechs are closing in on our position. This path is no longer safe. Yara. She wouldn't hand over the information that easily. And so, there's only one possibility remaining. "10 minutes. They should have run into Blake's people by now. The old Zarya would have probably stood a chance to escape unscathed. However, she's injured and carrying 2 extra burdens. Want to guess how long she can last in front of a fully armed Special Forces unit? Your phone is ringing, ma'am. It's me. Of course. I'm always willing to serve Columbia. Thank you for the advice. By now you should be willing to believe me that I tried my best. I tried my hardest just to secure this opportunity to talk. If you had agreed with me earlier, then our defense director's life would, at the very least, not be in danger. But you still sent him on that path, to that secret passage known only to Maylander agents. Zarya might die because of you, and the next one to go may as well be the one you're concerned about. Most concerned about. I'm hoping from the bottom of my heart that you think the question over. Where the hell is Kirsten Wright? Yara works for Maylander? I investigated her 10 years ago and found nothing. It was only when the Tin Man showed up that I left Rhine Lab and got more clues to confirm it. She's been at Rhine for a long time. She knew Kirsten even before I did. Ifrit, attack the window on your left. Gotcha. It's so sturdy. The glass in the experimental labs is all reinforced, so ordinary impacts aren't going to be able to smash them. And if we break them now, we'll attract the attention of the soldiers downstairs. We can use my fire to cut through the glass. I can control my flames already, so I'll be able to do it. The teacher mentioned this in my classes. Fire can be tempered, be silent, and become a quiet anger. Make my flames into a sword. Make my flames into a single thread. Yeah! It cracked a little bit. You split the enamel. Sorry, just hold on a little longer. I'm halfway through. I can do it. Focus, Ifrit. Don't get distracted. When you were unconscious, Yara told me there's no way you can fight against the entire country. So if it is as you say, that Maylander and the military have come to some kind of agreement, then we truly are facing off the entire country right now. Yes. Your heart rate and body temperature is spiking near their limits, and you've only just woken up. Your body is taking a serious toll. Perhaps. Sorry, you're at your limit. Silence. Yara modified your drone. I've seen the prototype blueprints. When did you... Its current load-bearing capacity is at least 2 adults for a short distance glide. Get out through the hole if it opened, and the drone will be able to take you to the roof of the opposite building. You'll have to act fast. I'll wait for you to go over, then I'll exit through this door and divert the pursuers. Their numbers are many, and I won't be able to fend them off for long. Saria. You still haven't given me an answer. Your inability to make a genuine stand against Rhine, is it because you're deep in your bones you've always been the same as them? The same as Control? Sorry, Silence. I thought it through, and I'm unable to give you a definite answer. If Kirsten's experiment violates any laws that shouldn't have been broken, I will stop her. Just like all the wrongs Rhine has committed over the years, the wrong should be made right. For I've always believed that the stronger one is, the less rash they should be acting. But if I were to return to the past, back to when Kirsten and I first met, when everything had yet to happen, I would not have stopped Kirsten then. I would not have stopped the birth of Rhinelab. Yes, even if I knew that Rhine would create so much suffering in the future, even if I could foresee the ambitions of Kirsten, Parvis and Ferdinand growing out of control, I would still stand with them. Saria, your answer might be even more definitive than you think. Silence, Saria, did you guys see that? I opened it. Go, Silence. If there's anything else you would like to know, we can wait until this is all over, and I'll tell you. Alright. Silence? Silence? Why are you spacing out? We gotta get moving. Poor Liberi. None of this has anything to do with you. What exactly is it that you want? Truth, justice, or peace? I will tell you what you want to know. And yet, even if you know it at all, what can you do? This is not the answer I want. No. A drone's belt? Silence, what are you doing? The whirring of a drone starting up comes from behind. The unreinforced door at the end of the corridor is about to melt under the impact of the energy weapon. Saria is suspended in midair, holding Ifrit in one arm, stretching the other out towards Silence, trying to grab her. But Silence doesn't return her grip, and retraces the path she has taken in reverse. I should have talked with you sooner, Saria. I only just came to understand why I can't help but get mad at you. I thought it was from the falling out that we had during the diabolic crisis. Or that I'm dissatisfied with the way you insist on shouldering everything yourself. But actually, the one I'm most annoyed with is myself. The blame I push onto you for not doing enough. It's only because I built a habit of depending on you. I had hoped you would change control, just like I once hoped the professor could save Ifrit, and that control could change Rhinelab. I had hoped every deadlock would be solved by someone stronger. I'm so weak, aren't I? On one hand, I loathe the powerful figures that manipulate everything and treat innocent lives like expendable resources and numbers. On the other hand, I still pin my hopes for the future on people stronger in not just power, but also morality and empathy. Only now do I understand that no one can truly carry everything on their own, that it's beyond the capacity of a single individual. Everyone who has been willing to help me on the way here, Rhodes Island, Moo, Yara, and you. All of you want me to stay out of it. If you hadn't collapsed in front of me, if Ifrit hadn't been in danger, I might have just obediently thrown in the towel. But now, I won't back down. I refuse to allow myself to stay under your wings. I refuse to accept that I can only stand in vain as the gunfire rings right above us and opens my arms to the injured. This time, I will step into the flames before any of you. Let's go, silence. The drone sends the two to a lower floor of the neighboring building. Saria smashes a window as they land smoothly. There must be more of his people on the lookout downstairs, but as long as there's room for action, she believes that she can find a way to break through the encirclement. However, Silence, what are you doing? Silence, hurry up and fly over here with your drone. Ifrit anxiously yells at the room across, but Silence takes a long look at them before turning her back. Just as Silence begins to turn, Saria gets to look at her eyes. They are brimming with regret. But more than that is determination. Ferdinand, we got someone in the corridor. She says she has business with you. Silence? Why are you... I'm sorry, Yara. I've already made up my mind. I have unfinished business, so I can't leave just yet. I remember you. Stellar student. You and Elena gave me such a headache back at Site 359. Yes, my name is Silence. I would like to make a deal with you. A deal? Do you really think I would let Saria go? This isn't up to you. No, this is the only thing that's up to me. That's transmitter from the site. What are you doing? You need to put the transmitter into your body. It's not going to work. Dorothy's hub was destroyed. The new hub is in Kirsten's hands. That's impossible. That was my experiment, mine and Dorothy's. A short while ago, I met Parvus. His laboratory was storing a large amount of transmitter. Clooney, you must have realized it long ago. You just don't want to admit it. You would rather have believe your failure was owed to a bad move than to believe that control is playing you the whole time. Did you really never consider the possibility? She's the one that's working more closely with the military. She has countless ways to kill your experiment with Dorothy in its infancy. But then why did she only show up after your experiment succeeded? We still have a chance. Whatever Kirsten's trying to do with Transmitter, she hasn't succeeded. Clooney, bring me to her. The transmitter is inside me. I'll become your beacon to locate Kirsten. Jeez.
被害状況確認。被害は無視。
Silence. Let's go. Taking things into our own hands now. Now we're actually not going to read this story because my throat is dry. But I want to unlock Silence. I want to start working on her.
出発しよう。
Shadows.
Wait, no, that's not right.
Hear my voice. Hear my song. I'm with you.
I'm listening.
This is the position, right? I'm listening. I'm aware of what I'm doing.
I know what to do. Don't order me around. I know what to do. Nothing can mask the scent of despair.
Let's shut you, for you may miss the misery of your death.
What is it? I'm aware of what I'm doing.
視界良好。
So that's a... Ha! Standing by.
I know what to do. I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
Got a problem that needs solving? Moving to designated location.
Shadows! What is it? I'm aware of what I'm doing.
So that's our target?
What is it?
What the fuck?
Simple and clear. What is it?
I pass on your last words? No.
装填完了。いつでも行けるよ。
悪くない位置取りです。
Shadows!
Moving to designated location.
Don't. I will sink your corpse into shadow. No one will find it.
I obey my own heart.
Yes, lift your voices. Sing for me. Sing for me.
Got a problem that needs solving? Moving to designated location.
So that's our... I will see it's no use!
Moving to designated location.
I'm used to fighting alone.
The actors are all puppets of the script.
Hurry up.
Got a problem that needs solving?
Two-star is fine for now. We'll fix it when we
A few of them got through.
play this next time. But the whole point... Oh, we got 2 more of these. Oh yeah. We didn't get to finish that. Maybe I'll do it off stream. But I wanted silence.
Doctor, my time aboard Rhodes Island will be inevitably diminished in the future. There is one thing, however, that I can guarantee. My relationship with Rhodes Island will only grow closer, because I trust Rhodes Island, and I trust you.
Hey. It sucks that you won't be around as often, Silence. But it's good to see that you trust us and me, and we'll grow closer. It's nice. It's nice. I haven't done this in forever, but I'm gonna be maxing out Silence. At least her potentials. I haven't gone for potentials for a character for a welfare in such a long time. But I should be able to promote her.
Some battles are unavoidable. I know. The pharmaceutical I took part in developing is highly effective? That's excellent. Though I have to devote more of my energy elsewhere, I would never want to give up my research.
Hey. That's great. Oh, you're still streaming? Yes. Not for very much longer though. We're just leveling up Silence. I only did the stage for the fifth stage. We didn't actually
Some
read the
battles are
story.
unavoidable. I know.
But I wanted to do this before I stopped streaming.
Products received. Products received.
I know what you want to ask. The path I'm about to walk is a thorny one. Am I really prepared for it? I don't know whether future me will come to regret this, but at least right now, I will firmly walk on.
Good for you, Silence. Good for you. Oh, she's so pretty. She really is so pretty. Also, the fact that I can't max her out tells
Some
me
battles are
that
unavoidable. I know.
I'm getting low. But this really makes me happy. Erica is such a good voice actor.
Ascalon forced me to take this bodyguard gig. Pick your job off the ground, Doctor. You'll be seeing a lot more of me for a while.
I'm very... Oh, what Silence did at the end was really great. Oh. Oh. But yeah. That's going to be the end of today's stream. Tomorrow is Lunacore, and I promised that I would go to that session, even though I might not be part of the main mission. Other than that, yeah, stay tuned. We'll do more of this on a later date. Not sure when, but we will get it done. So, hope everyone enjoyed this stream. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.